Hello, it is Jen Johnson here in another room of my house. For once, we finally have our house back to normal. I'm so excited. So tonight, I want to talk to you about all of the overthinking that is going on, okay? I have been doing a lot of calls with clients. There's just a lot of juices flowing, overflowing. I mean, I know this is a huge epidemic in our industry, all the overthinking that happens. And it's really, really important that you step out of your brain and just start writing things out on paper and taking things one by one. I want to talk to you about this power of one. You know, today I woke up and I had just literally my mind, you can ask my mentor, Diane, I mean, my mind races. And the reason this is because for me, I'm a very creative person. I'm always trying to think of new ideas and out of the box and trying to just come up with new ways to, you know, like free giveaways and things I can just keep giving and things I can keep sharing and different ways I can share. And I just have all these things that I want to do. And a lot of times that can become very, very overwhelming. You know, to put it into perspective, you know, if you look around at your house, and do you ever look at your house and think, oh my gosh, it's so trashed. Like, we've been in construction mode, so our house is just torn apart right now. And you look around and you think, I just don't even know where to get started because there's just so much to do. And so, you know, last night I was like, forget it. I'm just laying in bed and I'm going to, you know, just veg out. I'm tired. I just don't even know where to start, so I'm not going to start, right? We do this so often in our business where we get all these ideas and we maybe don't even write them on paper. We just have them in our head floating around with every other idea we've ever come up with that we maybe have forgotten about because we never wrote them down to begin with. And you start to just think, I'm not going to do anything in my business today because I have so much to get done. And so I want to help you eliminate this problem by just starting to think about that power of one. Anything that you want to do starts by doing it one time. You know, I had someone who was really struggling to, they want to build their brand. You know, let's build the brand, let's build the brand. And it's not something that you just spend a day doing. You know, building a brand, it doesn't just, you don't write it down on paper and then all of a sudden you have a brand. It takes time to develop. It's something that evolves, and over the years it can change. It can become a very different thing a year from now. And, you know, there's certain things that just have to develop, but they all develop by starting by doing it one day at a time. So if you take something like email marketing, for example, or doing Facebook Lives. A lot of people are afraid to do Facebook Lives. Maybe they do pre-recorded videos, but they're really scared to go live. And so they freak out over the idea of like, I don't know, I just can't go live every day. I don't know what I'm going to talk about every day. I don't know what I'm going to do. And it's very important that you focus on just doing it one time, okay? Don't think about the overall picture of every time you're going to have to go live, of every time that you're going to be doing, you know, writing an email to your list. You only have to focus on the tasks at hand in front of you that you need to conquer today. And that's something that my mentor taught me a while ago, is that you need to focus on being in the now, in the present, and doing the daily activities that you could do today. So that way when your head hits the pillow, you feel like you got something accomplished. You feel like you're moving forward. You're daily developing your skill set, but you're not looking at the overall, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed because I have all this stuff to do. You really only have a few things that you need to do. You just have to do them daily, but you don't have to think about every single day. You just need to think about right now. So I really want to encourage you to start thinking of your business like you do when you're driving at night with headlights, okay? You know, when you're driving at night with headlights, you're not stressed about the 5 miles in front of you or the 10 miles you have to go. You're only focused on that little bit of road that you can see in front of you. And as you move forward, the road starts to reveal more of itself and you are moving further along, even though you can't see everything. You know, in our business, in our life, we're not meant to know every single thing that's that's going to go on. Like, we don't know the entire journey. We don't know how our whole life is going to unfold. We're not supposed to know. Because if we knew, I guarantee you, we probably wouldn't tackle the things we need to tackle because we're not prepared. We're not prepared for what we're going to do 5 years from now, because maybe you don't have the skill set yet. So if that was revealed to you now, like, hey, you're going to be, speaking on stage, or, I'm actually teaching an 8-hour class next month. Like, if that would have been revealed to me 2 years ago, I would have been like, forget it. I'm not doing this. This is crazy. I'm not teaching an 8-hour class. But now, through everything that I've learned and being in this industry and really honing my skills and learning what I know now, I'm fully equipped and I know I'm capable of doing it. But only because I let that unfold over time. So I really want to help encourage you to just focus on the tasks in front of you. Focus on the things that you know how to do. Stop laying your head down at night thinking, I didn't get this done, I didn't get this done, I didn't get this done. Write down what you did get done. Focus on the things that you did accomplish. Focus on the things that you can accomplish. And then the things that you want to learn so you can accomplish, write them down. Get them out of your head so they're not floating around in your brain, stressing you out, making you feel overwhelmed. As a creative person, I can pretty much guarantee that if you're in a home-based business or you're building a business online, you're a very creative person. You're an outside-of-the-box thinker. And outside-of-the-box thinkers and people who aspire to be more, they're never going to have a small list of things to do. You're always going to have things that you need to do. Like, it's going to be a forever running list, and you're going to keep adding to that list and adding to that list because you're creative, you're awesome, you're ready to rock it out and build your empire. But the reality is it will start to overwhelm you if you don't take action. The only time that you're feeling overwhelmed is if you are not in motion. If you're just staying stagnant and like your house, when you see it's a big fat mess and you're like, screw it, I'm not going to clean it. And you wake up the next day, it's still going to be a big fat mess. Your business, you're still going to have the longest list ever, and it's never going to shrink, or it's never going to have room for new things if you just don't take time to tackle things day by day. Focus on writing one email. Focus on creating one Facebook Live. Focus on writing one blog post. Don't think about the overall, oh my gosh, I have to write a blog. I got to know how to optimize it and create all the SEO, but then what is all the content I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Like, you don't have to worry about the rest of your life. Just worry about the content for today. And as you develop this skill set, I remember when I first started blogging, it would take me 2 hours to write a blog post, okay? I did one today in 20 minutes. Like, I got the picture done, I got the video edited and uploaded, I wrote the copy, I added some links and the hyperlinks to direct people to some of the resources. I'm now able to do it so much faster, but it took me having to do it for 2 hours and figuring it out and getting more efficient and getting better and better at it. It took me that time to develop the skill set and then be able to knock it out in 20 minutes. So that's all you have to do. You have to think, okay, what do I want to learn? What do I want to get good at? And how do I go about doing it just today? Like, what are the things I need to do today to make that happen? And just know that if you're starting a new skill set, if you're maybe just getting into email marketing, if you're just getting into writing blogs, if you're just getting into doing Facebook Lives, you may not be that good at it when you first get started, and that's okay. Typically, when you start a new thing, you're not that good at it, and over time, it's going to develop, and your audience is going to see you grow, and they're going to stick with you if you're consistent, and they're going to love the fact that they got to be on this journey with you and watch you get better and better and better, and eventually surpass other people to where they're like, hey, I really need to start paying attention to this person because they're actually like, I really see their growth and they're changing and they're actually learning something. They're going to be attracted to you. So I really, really hope that you take this advice and focus every single day on that power of one. What is the one thing, anything that you fear doing, stop thinking of, oh my gosh, I got to know it for 365 days this year. You don't, I have a running list of, I have a content journal for when it comes to content. But honestly, if I'm reading a book, if I'm watching a webinar, if I'm listening in on a call, if I'm having a conversation with someone and something comes to mind and I think, ooh, that's a good post, or ooh, this is good, this would be a good video. I'll be in the movie theater sometimes and I'll hear a quote in a movie and think, ooh, I'm gonna make a graphic out of that. That's a good quote, you know? You're always you start to become very receptive to content creation, and you just write it in your journal or write it on Trello or whatever it is that you use. Start a running list, and eventually you'll have so many ideas for content, you won't be stressed about the next live video that you have to do. You know, I thought about, this was actually something I thought of doing last night, talking about this power of one, because I've been, you know, because of things I've been reading and listening to. My mentor talks a lot about the power of one and how leaders, you know, leaders who are experts at what they do now, in order for, and how they got to that level was by doing it one time. You know, she talks about just prospecting one person, making one phone call, calling one lead, like just focusing in on doing it one time. So you go through that process, and the more you do it each day, you'll get more efficient, you'll get over your fear, you'll start to develop a skill, and you'll actually start getting really good at it and getting results. So there's a whole process involved here with you going out and developing these skill sets, but a lot of times our overwhelming thought process holds us back from getting into action, and you really have to just let that go. Anything that's in your head that's just stirring around like this, it's going to create fog in your mind. So you really have to make sure whatever you're thinking about, put it on paper in front of you. I cannot tell you how powerful that is to do. Put it on paper in front of you, and that way you know it's something that you want to either learn to do, it's something you need to like check off your list as a task, whatever it is, it's just out of your brain and on paper, so you can prioritize. You can actually see all these things that are going on in your brain, prioritize what needs to happen first, but just know that it's all going to start with doing something one time so you don't freak yourself out. And I really, really hope that this helps you. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the news feed. Drop the comments below. I'll be looking at the thread. Feel free to share this out with anybody that you feel would resonate. Truly, truly appreciate that. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.